My beloved child, if you have paused before these words, receive this as a private space I have prepared to call you back, not with the threat that a door is about to close, but with mercy that is still waiting patiently for you to open your heart. I do not want you to fear that every blessing will disappear if you turn away for a moment, because genuine love does not manipulate you through pressure. What I desire is for you to set aside the noise, the anxieties, and every judgment surrounding you long enough to recognize that there is a place within you that has gone uncared for far too long. Many people may hear words like these, yet every heart receives them differently. For you, this is an invitation to look back upon the road you have traveled, acknowledge the wounds you have not yet laid down, and understand that you still possess the opportunity to begin again with clarity, peace, and mature courage. Many times, you have felt left behind by the movement of life. You watched others being heard, supported, and recognized, while your efforts seemed to pass unnoticed. There were days when you said you were fine simply to avoid explaining yourself, because you had grown tired of describing your pain only to receive shallow answers. You learned to hide your tears behind closed doors, wipe them away alone, and step back outside appearing normal. But I saw those moments. I know the sighs that never became words, the nights when your body remained still while your heart was in turmoil, and the mornings when you used all your strength merely to complete familiar tasks. I never considered your endurance insignificant, nor did I turn away because you did not know how to ask for help. This private moment is not proof that you are greater than others or so specially favored that everyone else has been excluded. It is simply a reminder that in a world filled with noise, every person needs time alone with the truth. You have spent much of your life living according to what others expected, trying to become the version that kept everyone satisfied, and repeatedly ignoring the honest voice within. You feared that speaking truthfully would disappoint someone. You worried that establishing boundaries would cause others to call you selfish. You continued carrying responsibilities that were never yours, because saying no made you feel guilty. I am calling you into stillness so that you may see clearly that kindness does not require you to exhaust yourself, and love does not demand that you betray your peace merely to keep someone near. When you become still, emotions that were buried deeply may begin to rise. An old memory may suddenly return. A statement spoken years ago may still weigh upon your heart, or a loss you believed you had overcome may unexpectedly bring tears to your eyes. Do not fear these feelings, and do not conclude that all your progress has disappeared. Some things return not to pull you down, but because you are finally safe enough to face them with new understanding. The person you are today is no longer the one who once stood powerless before those experiences. You now possess more wisdom, know how to seek support, understand how to protect yourself, and recognize that one painful chapter does not have the authority to define your entire life. Allow the memories to pass through without returning to them the power to rule. I also want you to stop believing that you are too late. Perhaps you missed an opportunity, postponed a decision, or returned too many times to something that repeatedly proved it was not right for you. But the past cannot be repaired by continuing to condemn yourself in the present. What happened can offer instruction, but it must not become a sentence. You can still change direction today. You can apologize where needed. Leave what harms you. Begin a new habit, and awaken a dream you once abandoned. The door of growth does not close merely because you once moved slowly. What matters is not how long you remain still, but whether you are now willing to leave that place honestly. The mercy I extend toward you does not function like a clock counting down in order to frighten you. It resembles a hand that remains extended each time you recognize the need to return to what is right. I do not want you to act because you fear losing blessing, but because you have recognized the value of a clearer life. Some changes need to begin now, but the urgency comes from love, not threat. If a habit is weakening you, do not continue postponing the adjustment. If a relationship repeatedly leaves you confused, look at the truth rather than relying only upon promises. If your health, mind, or daily life needs care, seek suitable support. Obedience is not demonstrated by leaving a public declaration for others to see, but through the practical choices you make after recognizing what needs to change. You often search for a dramatic sign to reassure you that I have not forgotten you. You wait for an extraordinary event, an immediate answer, or a door opening so widely that every doubt disappears. Yet many times the signs I give are very simple. You still possess the ability to begin again. There is still a sincere person willing to listen. You still have enough strength to take one small step. And you still possess the discernment to recognize what no longer fits. Do not despise these things. A miracle does not always mean that circumstances change overnight. Sometimes the miracle is waking up and no longer wanting to return to the cycle that broke you. Sometimes it is the moment you calmly say, "Enough," and walk away without creating chaos. I know you have longed to be seen and understood. Some people know only the strong version of you and fail to realize that you also need comfort. Others became so accustomed to receiving your help that they forgot to ask how you were doing. But do not let their lack of awareness convince you that you are completely invisible. I have placed around you relationships that can become deeper if you allow yourself to be honest. Choose someone trustworthy. Express what you need. And do not feel ashamed to admit that you are tired. Genuine strength is not never needing anyone. It is knowing when to stand on your own and when to receive a supporting hand. You do not need to carry every burden alone in order to prove your worth. Within this silence, I want you to lay down the need for universal recognition. You do not need to turn a private moment into a public performance. The deepest changes are often built where no one applauds. A promise you keep to yourself. A boundary you faithfully protect. A decision to forgive without returning to the old cycle. Or a morning when you begin caring for your life with discipline. You do not need to announce your transformation to the whole world. Let the peace in your eyes, the wisdom in your decisions, and the consistency of your actions become the evidence. Lasting transformation does not require grand declarations. My beloved child, if your heart is being moved by these words, understand that this does not require you to become frightened or hurried. It simply means that a part within you is recognizing that you deserve a different way of living. You deserve to rest without guilt, to be loved without begging for fragments, to be respected without continually proving yourself, and to begin again without carrying self-condemnation. I am inviting you to leave behind the feeling that you must constantly race against a closing door. You do not need to run in panic. You need to move with awareness. Therefore, use this moment to become honest with yourself. What have you known for a long time but repeatedly avoided? What must be released so that your hands can receive something new? Who or what is taking too much of your energy without producing peace, growth, or genuine value? You do not need to resolve everything in one day, but choose one concrete action. Write down the decision you need to make. Send the message that needs to be sent. Schedule the necessary appointment. Or give yourself the rest you have postponed. A reminder becomes meaningful only when it is translated into a way of living. I have not closed the door before you, nor am I standing there threatening that one more mistake will cause you to lose everything. I remain near as a patient presence, reminding you that you are still seen, still loved, and still have a road ahead. Do not use mercy as an excuse for continued delay, but neither should you turn it into fear that you are no longer allowed to stumble. Receive it as strength that helps you rise. Correct what needs correction, and continue more lightly. You are not the only person in the world who needs love. But in this private moment with me, you are received completely, as though no one else were competing for that attention. My child, this is not the final knock upon a cold door. It is a gentle invitation to stop standing outside your own life. Enter with honesty. Leave behind the layers of pretending, and stop living as though pain is the only thing waiting for you. Your tears were seen. Your sighs were heard. And the days when you believed you had been forgotten were never meaningless. Now carry the lesson, but lay down the weight. Enter the new day, not with fear of missing a miracle, but with confidence that every wise choice, every healthy boundary, and every honest step is bringing you closer to the freedom, peace, and good life you have awaited for so long. Recently, you have felt confused because you have carried too much in silence, to the point that you sometimes wonder whether anyone truly understands the weight upon your shoulders. I saw every moment when you tried to remain composed before others and then quietly returned to questions without answers. I know the nights when you lay still while your mind continued thinking about tomorrow, about what might happen, and about the road that still appeared covered in mist. At times, it seemed as though the whole world had grown silent, as if no one recognized how tired you were or knew how much strength it required merely to continue for one more day. But my beloved child, not one of your tears was dismissed. Not one attempt to rise was forgotten, and not one whisper spoken in loneliness passed unheard. I was with you during the hours when your strength felt most fragile, when you no longer felt courageous, yet still chose not to surrender. There were days when you did not travel far, but refusing to turn away from the road was itself a victory. There were times when you could move only through very small steps, yet those steps carried you out of places that had tried to keep you trapped. You believed you were enduring alone, but I was quietly placing perseverance within you so that each time you thought you were empty, enough strength appeared for the portion of the road before you. You do not need to feel courageous at every moment in order to possess courage. Often, genuine courage simply means continuing while your heart is still trembling. Your journey was never designed to be completely easy, because some qualities can be formed only through seasons, requiring you to dig more deeply into trust, patience, and endurance. I did not allow difficulty in order to crush you, but use those very places to expand your capacity, clarify your understanding, and help you recognize that you are stronger than you believed. Each time you pass through a day you thought would be impossible to bear. An old weakness lost part of its power. Each time you chose calmness instead of surrender, a new foundation was established. What you are becoming could not have been built through favorable days alone, because depth requires time and lasting strength is always refined where no one applauds. Now listen carefully, because your focus during this season matters more than you realize. Many voices around you are trying to draw your mind toward worry, doubt, and situations that have not happened. Some repeat former failures in order to convince you that the future will unfold in the same way. Others magnify every obstacle until one unopened door appears to mean that all hope is gone. Still others use the opinions of people to cause you to question your own worth. If you allow these voices to occupy your mind for too long, discernment will gradually become clouded. Peace will feel unfamiliar, and you will begin deciding from fear instead of understanding. For this reason, I am not asking you to fight every voice with anger. I simply want you to stop giving them authority over your direction. Not every thought that appears is truth, and not every feeling that rises is a prophecy concerning the future. Some fears are merely echoes of what you once experienced, still trying to persuade you that old danger is returning. Some doubts are born from exhaustion rather than from the truth about your ability. When you are tired, every problem can appear larger. When you are distracted, one small statement can shake you. Therefore, learn to pause before believing every story your mind tells. Breathe slowly, quiet your heart, and ask whether the thought is leading you toward peace or driving you deeper into confusion. When you return your attention to me, the first change may not take place in your outward circumstances, but in the way you stand before them. The noise begins to settle. What matters becomes clearer, and you no longer feel compelled to solve everything in one moment. You will recognize which road brings deep peace and which road requires you continually to excuse troubling signs. You will know which words encourage growth and which voices attempt to make you smaller. My guidance is often gentle. It does not always come through a loud sound, but through quiet certainty. Peace when you choose what is right, or a subtle restraint when you approach something unsuitable. The more time you spend in stillness, the clearer this ability becomes. I do not want you to depend so heavily upon outward signs that each day you must find something extraordinary before believing you are being guided. I want you to mature deeply enough to recognize direction in small things. A door closing at the right time, a conversation revealing the true nature of a relationship, an inner prompting to slow down before an important decision, or peace appearing even before your circumstances have changed completely. These things are not insignificant. They are ways I protect you from haste and guide you step by step through seasons when you cannot yet see the entire route. Be careful about what you allow into your mind every day. If you continually nourish negativity, you will begin seeing every opportunity as a threat and every delay as rejection. If you continually compare, you will forget that your road carries its own rhythm. If you spend too much time listening to judgment, you will gradually hear the voices of others more clearly than the honest voice within. I am not asking you to withdraw from life or ignore responsibility, but you must establish limits concerning what is wearing away your peace. There are conversations you need to leave, information you do not need to carry, and opinions that do not deserve to become the foundation of your decisions. I also want you to understand that peace does not mean every difficulty disappears immediately. Peace means difficulty no longer occupies your entire being. You may still lack an answer without becoming panicked. You may still be waiting for a door to open without calling yourself a failure. You may still face pressure while knowing that the pressure does not determine your worth or the ending. When your focus rests in the right place, every small change will no longer pull you in a different direction. You begin living from a stable foundation instead of allowing each day's emotions to decide who you are. The days when you believed you had been forgotten were actually creating valuable perseverance within you. I used silence to teach you how to listen, waiting to teach you not to rush, and unanswered questions to help you develop trust beyond what your eyes could see. You did not pass through everything merely to remain confused. New clarity is opening, but you must protect your attention in order to recognize it. What I am showing you may be gentle, and if your mind is continually carried away by noise, you may overlook what has already been placed before you. Therefore, my beloved child, do not underestimate the power of returning to stillness. Every time you stop nourishing a frightening thought, you reclaim authority over your mind. Every time you refuse to let another person's words define you, you strengthen the foundation within. Every time you choose a peaceful direction instead of reacting through panic, you move closer to the mature person I have always seen within you. You do not need to prove your strength by never becoming tired. You only need to know how to return to the source of support when your strength decreases. I remain here through the days when you clearly feel my presence and through the moments when everything seems silent. I never left during the nights filled with questions, and I will not abandon you before the turning points ahead. Return your attention to the proper place. Allow fear to stop narrating the future, and let peace become the voice that guides you. You have endured long enough under the weight of things that never belonged to you. Now I am teaching you to walk more lightly, clearly, and steadily. You have not been forgotten. You are not on the wrong road, and you do not need to discover every answer by yourself. Continue moving forward, because your perseverance has been seen. Your strength is still being developed, and the road ahead will gradually appear as you keep your heart near me. I am answering what you prayed during the days when you believed you had been forgotten, because not one tear fell outside my care. I heard what you said in loneliness, the times when you had strength only to whisper that you needed a sign that the journey still carried meaning. You asked for an interruption in the pain, a place to breathe between unending pressures, and often wondered why the answer seemed so slow. But my beloved child, silence never meant that I was absent. Even when you felt nothing, I remained near, protecting you from choices that could have caused deeper harm and quietly redirecting what you believed you absolutely needed. Today, I want you to awaken from the belief that you were left behind. You have not been forgotten, dismissed, or excluded from the good plan being completed step by step. There were times when you saw a closed door and called it rejection, while I saw another road that was safer and more suitable. You felt pain because someone no longer walked beside you. But I knew that if they remained, they might gradually pull you away from purpose and cause you to lose peace. You grieved an opportunity that slipped away, while I saw the weight hidden behind it and knew that you were not yet prepared to carry it without exhaustion. Delay is not always obstruction. Sometimes it is the boundary of love. I withheld not to disappoint you, but to give you enough time to mature. heal, and distinguish what is genuinely good from what merely appears attractive. Some gifts, if given too early, become burdens. Some doors, if opened while you are still easily influenced, lead to places from which it may take years to find the way back. Every battle you faced produced a deep change within you. You lived through days when no one knew how much effort it took merely to continue. There were mornings when you rose, even though your heart felt completely empty. There were times when you helped others while needing support yourself. You preserved kindness when bitterness tried to make you cold. And you chose hope when circumstances offered no guarantee. I saw all of it. I know each moment when you nearly released your hold, but ultimately chose one more step. Those quiet choices created strength that the world cannot measure. You were not prepared through easy days. You were refined through seasons when no one applauded, and you still preserved integrity. What is about to be placed into your hands will differ from what came before, because you are no longer the person you once were. I have not only changed circumstances, I have expanded your inner capacity so that you can receive something greater without losing yourself. You are learning to remain calm when events move quickly. Resist being redirected by praise, and use what is given with gratitude. What is coming is not meant to place you above others, but to help you live more generously, serve more people, and become evidence that a journey once filled with tears can still blossom into something beautiful. But to preserve this gift, you must enter with a clean heart, free from the need to retaliate, prove yourself, or make those who once dismissed you regret their actions. This is the time to stop looking so long at the roads of others. Comparison has taken too much peace from you and convinced you that you are delayed merely because your journey does not resemble theirs. You watched others receive what you once desired and wondered why you were still standing in the same place. But you do not know what they were prepared for or what I was protecting you from. Each person has a different time, lesson, and responsibility. What belongs to you cannot be developed through competition. It requires focus, obedience, and faithfulness in the small things before you. You do not need to move faster than anyone else. You only need to move in the right direction. Sometimes a slow step taken with clarity carries you much farther than running quickly in confusion. What I am preparing needs to be protected in silence. Not every new plan needs to be announced. And not everyone who asks should know everything being formed. A young seed does not need many hands touching it before it takes root. Protect your plans through discretion. Continue working, and allow the results to speak at the right time. You once shared too soon and allowed doubtful voices to steal your excitement. You once entrusted a fragile dream to someone who did not know how to value it. And it took a long time to recover your courage. This time, choose differently. Keep what is sacred near me so that it can grow in peace instead of under the pressure to prove itself. Not every door opening in this season is one you should enter. Some opportunities arrive at the right time, while distractions can also appear in very persuasive forms. You need discernment more than excitement, because an attractive invitation may still pull you away from the road that fits. Observe what takes place within when you stand before a choice. What is right may not always be easy, but it will not require you to betray your deepest values. It may demand courage, but it will not nourish prolonged chaos. It may lead you into unfamiliar territory, but it will not require you to become false in order to be accepted. Do not enter merely because you fear the opportunity will disappear. What truly belongs to you does not require you to hold it through panic. You have lost enough time to former cycles, and this season must therefore be protected carefully. Do not return to what you were released from merely because it is familiar. Do not allow one lonely moment to send you back to someone who repeatedly caused you to lose direction. Do not let fear of the future pull you into an unwise decision. I want you to protect focus, as though guarding a lamp in strong wind. What is being poured into you requires quietness, discipline, and trust. You can no longer allow every voice into your mind, every emotion to determine direction, or every invitation to rearrange your priorities. Choose what brings life. Choose people who respect your growth. And choose spaces where you can live honestly without remaining continually defensive. You are not late for your own journey. You may look back and regret the years that passed, but I do not measure your future according to what you believe you lost. I can use one wise decision to redirect many years, one fitting meeting to open what you have awaited for a long time, and the wisdom formed through pain to help you move more quickly without repeating former mistakes. You have not been left behind. You are being brought to the time when your inner growth, opportunity, and preparation can meet in proper order. The days that appeared to be delay were actually bringing you closer to readiness, even if some people change their attitude, leave, or no longer understand you as before. You are not walking alone. I know your name, the battles you have never shared, and how hard you sometimes worked merely to keep yourself from collapsing. I see the gentleness you preserved amid harsh experiences. I also see the faithfulness you maintained despite repeated disappointment. Nothing within you is invisible to me. When you believed you were the only one still holding hope, I remained beside you, placing beneath your feet a foundation circumstances could not remove. You may not have everyone, but you have never been without my presence. Therefore, remain calm and open before the new chapter. Do not allow urgency to frighten you. Let it awaken focus. Some things need to be released today. Some decisions need to be reconsidered. And some noise needs to be silenced so that you can hear more clearly. Return to honesty, gratitude, and trust that I am directing each step. What is coming is not a gift of luck, but the result of a long process through which you walked faithfully. You have been preserved, shaped, and prepared. Now receive with a peaceful heart. I never forgot you, and what I am bringing will help you understand that even the quietest seasons were secretly serving restoration, growth, and the good future now opening before you.